Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to plan my November TBR, and I'm doing this a little bit differently this month. Usually I just plan my TBR and then I show you, but this time we're gonna go through some of my notes and pick my TBR together. But before we get into that, I wanna talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Bastion. Bastion reached out to me and asked if they could send me one of their pens for review. They also have a code for you all as well. So when I first saw these, I was like, bolt action pen, like how great can this actually be? Y'all, it's pretty great. So it comes in this nice little carrying case. It's shipped really quickly in the mail and it is heavy. So like if you like a thick, heavy pen, it's heavy. And it has the little like bolt action thing and it's spring loaded. And it's rounded, so it's not gonna like cut your finger or anything. My dad had a bolt action pen that used to hurt my finger, but this is actually pretty satisfying. And it's a ballpoint pen, and they actually sent me 2 refills for it as well. You can't even see it, like it's very sleek, but this part actually unscrews. So it does unscrew, but when it's like screwed together, you can't even see where, and I can't feel where the line is either. So that's pretty cool. It has a clip and it just has the logo just there in the top, which I like. I don't like a whole lot of logos. They also sent me a little carrying case for it. And this is just like the most luxurious pen I have ever used. And I am so excited. And we're going to make my TBR using this pen. Oh, look, you can just put it in your little carrying case and then it's all nice and protected. And there was a couple different colors to choose from, but I chose the matte black because I thought that would be the best. And I got black like inserts for it as well. So I'll put some information about Bastion on the screen as well as my 20% off code. So if you use the code Lena20, you'll get 50% off anything that they offer. And it is an affiliate link, so please just know that if you use the link, I do get a little bit of a kickback, so thank you in advance if you choose to purchase anything. And thank you to Bastion for sending me this pen. And now let's use it to plan my TBR. Okay, I have my planner here so that I can kind of keep track. This is where I do all my content planning and keep track of my TBRs. Let me know if you'd be interested in like a plan with me video on how I plan my content. But the first thing that I know I'm going to be reading is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. And I'm reading this for the Sleep When I'm Dead book club. My friend Jessie has the Sleep When I'm Dead book club. You've probably heard me talk about it quite a bit. And she and her co-host, which I believe is Elizabeth from Reading Riley, are going to be talking about this. And I will put the information on the screen for that live show when they're discussing that book. But there's also a Discord, so make sure that you go to that Discord so that you can kind of discuss everything and get updates as well. And I feel like I'm just going to be flipping this bolt action the whole time I'm here because I love to fidget. And the weight of this pen is also really nice. I just wanted to add that as well. Okay, so Sleep When I'm Dead book club. Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I don't actually know what this is about, but I'm reading it because it's for Sleep When I'm Dead and because I read The Last Housewife and I absolutely loved it. The next thing that we have is Historathon. So Historathon, I think this was the 4th round. It's hosted by Gloria Z. Thompson, Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library, and Amanda from On the Middle Shelf. And they each have different prompts. So Historathon, I believe it runs the whole month of November. So we have the whole month of November to read it. And they have a buddy read as well as a couple of other prompts. So I picked one prompt from each of the ladies that are hosting, and I think that's going to be it for Historathon that I'm putting on my TBR. If I get more than 3 books done, great, but I have a lot of things I want to read in November, so I want to make sure I have room for other things as well. So for Gloria's prompt, I'm using Based on a True Story, and for that I'm going to read the buddy read, which is Crow Mary, and I believe it's Catherine Grissom. And this is based on a true story, and it sounds like something I like. So we know we're reading that. So let me write this one down. And then for Amanda, she has a prompt that has a word book in the title. So you have to read a book that has the word book in the title. And so for that, I think I'm going to read The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek by Kim Michelle Richardson. This is set in Appalachia, and it's about a woman who, like, her job is to, like, peddle books she's like a moving library around this little town in, I think it's Kentucky. Started reading this, I got to page 48 and then had to put it down for whatever reason, so I'm excited to pick this one back up. And then the last book that I want to read for Historathon is by Ellen Marie Wiseman. This is Coal River, and I'm picking this because one of Lindsay's prompts is a book by a favorite author. And we all know how I feel about Ellen Marie Wiseman, right? So Coal River is based in Pennsylvania, and it's about orphans and probably a lot of hardships because that's usually what Ellen Marie Wiseman books are about. So that is going to be my third book for Historathon. So I have Crow Mary, I have Bookwoman, and I have Coal River. Okay. Next, from November 17th through 19th, my friend Gwen is hosting a readathon on her Patreon. So my friend Gwen has a podcast. It's called Talk Bookish to Me. I've been on the podcast twice now. And so for her Patreon, we're called the Night Owls, and she does like quarterly little weekend readathons. So from the 17th to the 19th, it's called Squash Your Goals. And I love that name. So let me make sure I have that on my calendar. And I want to try to read 2 books during this weekend. I don't know if it'll happen, but we're gonna try. The first is to read a book that you've been putting off. A book that I've been putting off. I'm looking at my TBR shelf over here. Okay, for a book I've been putting off, let's go with My Sweet Angel by John Glatt. This is the true story of Lacey Spears, the seemingly perfect mother who murdered her son in cold blood. So this is a true crime book, and I think I've been like putting it off maybe because it's a mass market paperback, or maybe just because I haven't really been in the mood for true crime. So we are gonna try this one. So let me put that one down. And then this is also good because this also doubles. This is also good because this doubles as Nonfiction November. So I definitely do want to read a couple of nonfiction books in November, get them off my shelf, and I usually participate in Nonfiction November. So we're participating in a lot of things this month, but that's okay. Okay, and then for Nonfiction November, we already have the John Glatt book, but then I have 2 more that I want to read. First is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers, and she's has a PhD. And this is an older book, but my therapist actually recommended it to me. So it says it's the classic bestseller that has inspired millions to face their fears once and for all, now in a newly revised, updated edition. So it talks about like discovering like how to be more assertive, how to raise your self-esteem, how to like get more meaning out of life. So she recommended it to me, and so I'm going to give it a try, and it's pretty short. So this could also count for the Squash My Goals readathon because there's also a prompt of read a short book, and this is pretty short. And then the last book that I have is Hidden Valley Road by Robert Kolker, Inside the Mind of an American Family. So this is a family that lived in Colorado, and they had 12 children, and a lot of them ended up being psychopaths or having like psychiatric disturbances, and I think 1 or 2 of them maybe even ended up murdering people, and they all had schizophrenia. So it really delves into the like nature versus nurture idea, like were these children born like this or was it something in their upbringing? So yeah, there's a lot of abuse, things like this. It's pretty dense. It's a pretty dense book, and I have tried to read it before and ended up just putting it down. But this was also an Oprah's Book Club pick in 2020. And so I need to read this because I actually borrowed it from my coworker and I need to give it back. So, and I have been to the area in Colorado where they're from. So it's kind of cool that like I know the things. When I was reading it, I thought it was cool that I knew some of the things that they were talking about. So I need to finish this one. And something else that's interesting about this is that this family, the Galvin family, was the first to be first whole family to be studied by the National Institute of Mental Health, informing decades of research in the quest to understand and even someday cure schizophrenia. So that one is a chunker, but we are going to try to get to it. Okay, so I think that's everything I'm going to put on my TBR for now. It's a little bit ambitious. I haven't been reading as much this year as I have in past years, but I think we can still do it. So we have 3 for Historathon. We have Crow Mary, Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek, and Coal River. We have Midnight is the Darkest Hour for the Sleep When I'm Dead book club. And then we have My Sweet Angel for Squash My Goals readathon. as well as whatever book of the month I pick. And then for nonfiction November, we have these two. So 5 that I own physically, and then Crow Mary I got on Audible, and then Midnight is the Darkest Hour I have on, I think, Libro FM. I think it was a advanced listener copy that I was able to download. So yeah, that's my TBR. Thank you so much for helping me curate my TBR and going through everything that I need to for the month. Thank you again to Bastion for sponsoring this video, and make sure you check the description box below for all of the information and for a 20% off code. Please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.